Hello, everyone, and welcome into this pick a pile reading. The idea with these readings are that you look at each one of these sets of cards, and whichever one you're drawn towards, then you skip ahead in the video to see what message is coming through for that specific pile. So it's not a matter of listening to all three of them and then just picking out which message you like the best. The idea is that you see which one you're drawn towards. Our three sets that we have today, the first one for the tarot cards, it's the Alice in Wonderland deck. So here's just what some of those look like for you. So it's the Alice in Wonderland deck, and it is paired with the Moonology Oracle cards. So we use these a lot. So these are the Oracle cards that are going to be paired with that. And then the stone on the top, this crystal, is angelite, and it's about improving spirituality and spiritual awareness. So that is that set. Over here for pile B, this is that Spirit Song deck where we have shells, feathers, crystals, acorns instead of the traditional wands, swords, cups, and pentacles. So this is what these look like. They all have different animals on them. The messages line up with what the regular traditional tarot, like 10 of feathers being 10 of swords. It's about recovery and transformation. And, so that's what these tarot cards look like. So I'll kind of weave together some of the ideas with the traditional tarot if those aren't quite the same. And then we have our Gaia Oracle deck. And then the crystal that's on top of that, we have Botswana agate. And so you can see there, it's not coming through very clearly here. I was hoping it could focus, but you can see like there's little lines in the stone there. And that has to do with emotional healing and creativity and some of that clarity of thought. In C pile over here, we have the Oracle deck, or the tarot cards that it's like these holograms, and it's kind of spirit types of things. So we have Tooth Fairy, Centaur, the Fool's just listed as the Fool. But then we have things like gargoyles, Minotaur, Cyclops, zombies. So that is the tarot portion. And then down here in the Oracle deck, this is that hidden messages or messages from your person. This is that new deck that I created. So that is the set of Oracle cards that go with it. And then the stone here is this heart-shaped Amazonite. And that is about balancing of masculine and feminine energies. If you're on a twin flame journey, a lot of times this is used to symbolize union or reunion between the divine masculine and divine feminine. But either way, it's about balancing those energies within you. So go ahead and pick which pile is drawing your attention, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, and welcome in pile A. So in this pick a pile reading, we'll take a look at like jobs and career, love and relationships, and then what you don't see coming. All right, so as it looks for your job and career, in the recent past, we have 10 of Swords, currently sitting in this Queen of Cups in reverse energy, with the next level of energy being Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, so looking at that, there's a lot of Queen energy, and that's the Queen in reverse. So things might be feeling kind of off I would say definitely feeling off, because with the 10 of Swords, that is all about this sense of like exhaustion and betrayal and defeat. So recently at work, you've been feeling like totally defeated. Could just be that you're burned out from being overworked, but it also almost has a sense of maybe you were working towards something, or you were on a team project and you got passed over or taken advantage of or something like that. But it's definitely got this air of just betrayal and defeat and just like, oh my gosh, I've had enough. And then in your current energy with your Queen of Cups in reverse, there's kind of this sense of like insecurity that, it's been so bad that it's just leaving you feeling insecure. And it could be if you've been betrayed from a work perspective, somebody went behind your back, something shady happened at work, that now you're kind of insecure, like, well, wait a second, who else is maybe going to stab me in the back at work? So it's definitely a feeling of uneasiness from a work standpoint. And then the next level with the Queen of Swords in reverse coming in, there's kind of this, like the next level of energy is almost this like cruelty and bitterness that's coming in. Like, you know, you're tired of not having those good feelings at work and just feeling like you're spinning your wheels. So let's see, let's pull some cards here. What is advice from Spirit on how to proceed in this situation? All right, we have got the Five of Wands in reverse and the Ten of Wands. All right, your Five of Wands in reverse is about resolution and peace and like finding whatever peace you need to. But then your Ten of Wands is that sense of struggle and responsibility. So it's you trying to balance finding resolution, and you may be feeling like you're having to take complete responsibility in order to find that resolution, which from that perspective, here, let me pop the edge of this up just a little bit. From that perspective, if you feel like your only resolution or your only way out of that situation is to take complete responsibility for everything, then that's almost like that message of that's not really the right place for you. Let's pull a couple oracle cards specifically on the work front and see what other messages are coming through for you. All right, we've got your commitment is being tested. So some of this here with your commitment is being tested. It's kind of like, how much longer are you going to endure this before you do something about it? And this whole thing of this vibe of you are good enough. If you're holding on to this job because you feel like, well, I should just be grateful that I have a job, you know, that's not necessarily the right way to look at it, because you should be being appreciated for your efforts and being acknowledged for it, not being betrayed and just exhausted and in that constant kind of agitated state. So know that you are good enough. Let's take a look and see, when does it look like things may turn around here on the work perspective? Oh, this jumped. When you stop focusing on it. So that's one of the things. And winter. So kind of coming up this winter, so it's going to take a little bit of time for you to figure out what you want to do, but part of it, you'll notice a shift when you stop focusing on it. So if you're too tapped into that narrative, like it, and I'm not going to say put yourself in that mindset of I just don't care, but if you've seen that movie Office Space, where he goes to that hypnotist, you know, like he hates his job and it's just this like gritty, angsty, oh my gosh, he goes to this hypnotist and then the hypnotist dies while he's under, and then he kind of has this don't really care sort of attitude. Things act like he actually gets ahead at work from that perspective. So it's almost kind of like that when you stop focusing on it and you stop being so drawn into that narrative about what's going on, then you can actually find some progress, and maybe you can see more clearly what it is that you should be doing. All right, now let's take a look at love and relationships. Okay, in the recent past here, we have the Tower. Ooh. Currently sitting in this Nine of Cups energy, and the next level of energy is Ace of Cups. Looks like there's been some major fireworks in the relationship side of things for you. So whether this is something has recently ended and you're kind of, picking yourself up and doing something else, or if you were single, maybe you've now found yourself in a relationship. This can also be a little bit more subtle in terms of a shift in your perspective or your mindset that will totally change the trajectory of how things are going for you. So remember, the Tower, that's like that game changer of a situation, whether it's happening in your physical reality or whether it's happening in the way you think about things, the way you approach things. Currently sitting in this Nine of Cups energy, that's a sense of contentment and attainment, like you got to some goal. Even if that is just a change in your mindset of, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to allow that anymore. And it's kind of put you in this like Zen sort of state. The next level coming through is Ace of Cups. So it's this energy of creativity and inspiration and love. So really beautiful progression there on the love side of things. And so since that looks like that's going smoothly, don't necessarily need more clarifiers on that. Let's pull a couple of cards, though, for a pile. What is it that you don't see coming? What is it that you don't see coming here? In general, not specific to love, but in general. You have the King of Pentacles, and you have the Wheel of Fortune. King of Pentacles is this reliability and security coming in. And that, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune, that is this kind of destined and fated type of scenario for you. In this one, you know, on the Wheel of Fortune, Alice is chasing the rabbit. And in the movie, in the story there, as she goes chasing, you know, she never gets to where she wants to go because she just keeps chasing the rabbit. And so it's kind of like there's a timing to everything that she'll catch the rabbit when she's supposed to. And with the King of Pentacles, that's that reliable, stable energy. So you will get to a point of stability kind of when you stop chasing and let the universe bring it into you at the timing that you're supposed to. So I think it's one of those things, you're going to not see it coming, but all of a sudden you're going to have that sense of, things are really stable. But yeah, hold on to your vision. And then that's going to be when, you know, when you don't see it coming, then all of a sudden wonderful changes come in. So that was our message here for pile A. As always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time. All right, pile B. So let's take a look and see what is in store for you. And what I'll do with this is we'll do job and career, and then love and relationships, and then what you don't see coming. And with some of these lines, we'll ask for clarification as needed. Sometimes they're super straightforward and no clarifiers are needed. But let's see what we've got here for starting out with jobs and careers. All right, we have got the Queen of Crystals in reverse. We have the Six of Acorns in reverse. And then the next level of energy is the Transformation in reverse. If you are matching these up with traditional tarot, Queen of Crystals in reverse is going to be your Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So in the recent past, you've had kind of this little bit of this energy of like maybe greediness or selfishness at work, maybe kind of some envy. Here's what this card looks like. So we have a hedgehog. I'm trying to see how I can get it to like focus there on the picture. So there has been kind of that sense of envy or a little bit of that chasing after something at work because maybe you see somebody else has the job that you want or the clients that you want. So you kind of get this like envious energy and like greedy energy that's what you want too. Currently sitting in your Six of Acorns in reverse, and that's going to be Six of Wands in reverse. And that has to do with a sense of disappointment and actually some disgrace and arrogance is kind of where you're sitting right now. The next level coming in here is, it says it's Transformation in reverse. This is actually the same as the Death card, number 13, the Death card. And so you'll see there is kind of that sense of transformation in here. I don't know, you can't really see it all that well. My camera's not focusing on that part. But that's what's coming in because from a standpoint of looking at the progression, you've been chasing after something that you thought was really important, and it's almost like if you got fixated on that I want to get these bigger clients, I want to get that person's job, I want to do this, it's almost like it's leaving you feeling disappointed because you're constantly chasing after something else, like you want something bigger, you want more recognition, you want that. But also with that sense of disgrace, be careful because it could be that currently at this very moment in time you're sitting in that energy, or it could be that, hey, like this is right around the corner, you know, because when we talk about future energy, it's not necessarily like, oh, future as in 1 hour after you watch this message. So this could be anything that's happening literally right now, maybe yesterday, maybe tomorrow, maybe this week, but it's like that current energy. So it's a little bit of that warning of don't be always looking at what is it that somebody else has. I want that. That's what I and chasing after. Because if you get into that greedy mindset, it's kind of that warning of it's going to leave you feeling disappointed. And depending on what you do to try to get there, there could be an element of disgrace. But let's see when this transformation, the death in reverse is happening. And it's saying after the tower. So the transformation is going to happen after the tower, because death in reverse is in the future energy. It's kind of like you are resisting change. You're clinging to something that needs to be released, that needs to be changed. And so it's interesting that after the tower came up, and I do think it's funny. So with this card, most of them turned out where it's like the planet in the middle. This one somehow ended up, the paint just got really weird. So I think it looks kind of cool with the fact that it says after the tower. But it's almost like, when I was asking, when does your transformation happen? That's like, when does this card shift? And it's going to be after the tower. So if you're continuing to cling to something, to that vision, to, I want to do that at work. I really need, it's almost more of just like, hey, I want to challenge myself to get to the next level. It comes across as this like very needy energy that I have to do that. I have to get this recognition. So it's kind of like that's the sort of energy that, will lead you to the path of a tower. And then once that tower happens, then you can see some transformation there. But let's take a look and see, let's see from a advice from Spirit perspective. Is there any other advice coming in? And we'll pull an oracle card as well. But what other advice is coming in from Spirit about this situation? We have Page of Shells. And Page of Shells is going to be your Page of Cups energy. So that's a little bit of this dreamer, naive sort of energy. On here, it also has intuition and inspiration. And so that's really what you need to look at, is what are you being inspired to do? Not, can I chase what somebody else has done? Can I replicate an experience that somebody else has been having here? But it's what do you feel from an intuitive standpoint? What are you being called to do? Because this chaser dynamic is going to be ego driven. So that's going to be mental, like your ego, let's call it the FUD factor, fears, uncertainties, and doubts. That's what is driving you to chase like that. If you can quiet that ego mind and listen to your intuition, you'll be called, or you'll see what direction you're being called in. All right, and then eternal love, happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. And so with this, even though eternal love and talking about like fulfillment, yes, that can be, in romantic relationships, looking at that, but how do you find that happiness and harmony and fulfillment at work without feeling like you have to chase and almost like feeling like you're in a video game that, I have to level up, I have to get more coins, I have to get more points, I have to get more, whatever video game context. So that is what is coming through for jobs and careers. Let's take a look at love and relationships and see what all messages are coming through for pile B. All right, in the recent past, we have 6 of feathers in reverse. Currently sitting in 8 of feathers in reverse energy. Next level coming in is 2 of feathers energy. And feathers are swords. So as it relates to romantic relationships, very, very in your head, thought heavy type of energy, because it's all swords energy. And your swords, that's about your thoughts. So I'm going to pop these up here using a little crystal so that way you're not getting as much of a glare. In the recent past, we have our 6 of swords in reverse. So feeling like you've kind of been stuck in this rut and you're resisting change, like you're resisting this positive change that wants to come in. And, it creates this sense of instability, because it's like, you know that you don't want to be where you are, but you also don't want to let it go. Then here with our 8 of feathers in reverse energy, where you're currently sitting, 8 of feathers in reverse, this is going to be about kind of gaining some perspective and some freedom and taking control and moving out of that stuck energy. So, in the upright, here it has it with courage and solutions. Normally your 8 of swords is like that feeling of, I'm stuck. This is like the positive spin on it, that you're working on your courage, you're working on your solutions, how to get out of that. And so, looking at this, it's like the mouse, if the mouse is coming up against a trap, how do they avoid the trap? And so it's good energy in terms of the progression here, where you've felt like there's been this resistance to change coming in, but you are starting to gain a little bit more perspective. You're starting to take control, starting to try to gain your freedom. And then that's going to lead you to this decision point and looking for direction. So in this one, it has it as decision and direction. Your traditional Two of Swords is, you're faced with a decision that you need to make. It's kind of a difficult choice. There's sometimes a sense of split loyalties. So back here, whatever you were resisting the positive change, you're starting to gain some clarity. And now it's like, okay, I'm in a position where I can actually decide which way am I going to go. There's this positive change that wants to come in. There's this situation that's kind of been a struggle for me, and you're at a point of making a decision. So let's take a timing card and see, when does it look like this decision will be made? Because you're moving in that direction, but this is a future energy of making that decision. So let's see, timing wise, what does that look like? Summer. So that's right around the corner. So it looks like you're moving in that direction. Let's pull an oracle card here and see if there's any other clarifications coming through about this decision. Lost love, surrender, healing, and release. So this is kind of coming across here that it's, when we look at the greens here and the greens here and in there, that this resisting change is almost like from the perspective of, that things aren't working, but you feel stuck and you don't really know what to do about it. So you're starting to gain a little bit of that sense of clarity, but then you have to decide, okay, is this something that can be directed differently? Because this is about surrender, healing, and release. So can you heal what needs to be healed and then totally let go of it? Either letting go of the relationship in general or whatever that sticking point is for you. So let's go ahead and pull a few cards for what is it that you don't see coming. And this isn't specifically related to the jobs line or the relationships line. Let's just see in general. What is it that you don't see coming, pile B? All right. We've got our Page of Crystals, and your crystals are going to be Pentacles. So it's Page of Pentacles, and then we have Page of Feathers in reverse. So Page of Swords in reverse. So this is, that page energy is going to be that kind of like new paths, like new direction. So your Page of Crystals, you have some new ideas coming in. And then with your Page of Feathers in reverse, this is a little bit of that sense of, maybe some hesitancy to move forward on it. Like you're getting some ideas to what direction do you want to go, but then there's a little bit of that sense of, wait a second, maybe am I being manipulated? Is this really the right path? I don't know. So it's almost like that second guessing, like you kind of step back, like as opposed to being curious about the new path, it's almost like you're worried about it and a little bit of second guessing. So what is advice from Spirit in terms of what you don't see coming? Almost like that, wait, something good just happened out of the blue. Can I trust it? So I guess that's kind of that question of, can I trust it? All right, and the message here is the Chariot in reverse. And that's going to have this sense of unbalanced energy and self-doubt as it relates to this new thing that's coming in that seems like, oh, this is a new idea. So let's pull one more card there. What other advice from Spirit do we have about this new idea? Knight of Acorns. So that is going to be your Knight of Wands energy, which is a little bit of that adventure, like fearlessness, that confidence. So there's some self-doubt, but then that's that energy of, well, have confidence in your ability to think through, is this new idea really a good one for you? And it almost kind of has that go for it sort of energy. So that is the message that's coming through for pile B. As always, take only what resonates, and I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time. Alrighty, pile C. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what all messages want to come through for you. And we will pull cards as it relates to jobs and careers, and then love and relationships. So we'll see what messages want to come through for you? All right. Let's see. These cards are kind of big. There we go. All right. Jobs and careers. In the recent past, we have the King of Cups energy, currently sitting in Nine of Wands energy. And next level of energy coming through is Three of Pentacles in reverse. So as it relates to jobs and careers, you've had this sense of like wisdom and balance and kind of this calm sense with your career. And that's, with this Nine of Wands, that's actually an energy of like persistence and resilience, kind of like you're making a stand. Even though you've had that wisdom and balance. So let's pull a card. What is it that you're taking a stand about? Because those don't necessarily flow together. So what is it that Pile C is taking a stand about from a work perspective? The High Priestess in reverse. So there's been kind of this sense of like some secrets and uncertainty, a little bit of conceit, and it's kind of this sense of like, with High Priestess, you should trust your intuition, but you're taking a stand against, there was some sort of like secrets or uncertainty that was going on at work. And you've kind of been the kind of cool, calm, and collected one. And now it's a matter of you need to take a stand against whatever that is that's happening in the background. The next level of energy coming in, we have our Three of Pentacles in reverse. So it's almost like there's this conflict or apathy that's coming in, this sense of rivalry. Like if you were calling out somebody else at work for something they were doing, it's creating this sense of conflict for you. So let's pull a few more cards. Let's talk about what does the next step for our C pile? What does the next step look like with this job situation? We have our Two of Wands, so there's going to be a little bit of this personal power, decision making, and traveling. And then your Eight of Pentacles is about your expertise and your skills. So for some of you, you could be traveling to a new job. It could be a matter of, maybe you're traveling to give presentations, to go to conferences, conventions, things like that, where you're showing off your skills. But it almost gives a sense of, are you doing something totally brand new because of this situation? If there's been I'll call it some lies and some, uncertainty at work, or people behaving in kind of a bad way, because you do have this, like I said, it is decision making, but it's also traveling. Okay, the one that came up was Eight of Cups in reverse, where you might be avoiding a change because you don't really want to have to deal with it, but you might be getting pushed to do some traveling. Let's take a look and see what is the energy, since it has that rivalry in the future. How is it that you're going to overcome this rivalry? Okay, so Death in reverse. This is, again, there's more of this resisting change. And for some of you, it could be that you're still clinging to a job that maybe isn't really suited to you. But I also get with this where it's like this personal power and using your skills. For some of you, it comes across that somebody's trying to take things in a different direction at work, and that's from your experience and this sense of wisdom and balance, that doesn't feel like the right decision. So you're resisting change and you're saying, no, this isn't the right direction to go. Like if somebody's trying to lead the company, lead the team in a different direction, you're saying, no, this isn't really the right way to go. There's a little bit of this sense of like, trust your intuition. If you don't feel that that's the right way to go, stand up for that. And that when we come to this persistence and making a stand, saying, you know what, no, like that might bring in conflict or rivalry if you are standing up against people who are saying, no, we should go in this direction. But if that's really not the right thing to do, don't cave into that. Like hold firm to that, to what you believe is the right course of action. All right, now let's take a look at love and relationships and see what all messages are coming through here for you. All right. Oops. That is a bunch of, that was like 5 cards that jumped. So I'm going to shuffle those back in because that's more than just, oh, we had a jump card. Okay. And now we have our 9 of Cups, 8 of Wands. So we have that as it relates, actually, and it's interesting because both of those, it's like this sense of tentacles. You know, we have Kraken and we have Hydra. 9 of Cups energy is about achievement, though, and attaining what it is that you're trying to move towards. And then 8 of Wands is that fast-moving energy. Both of them, though, it has that feel of, you know, needing to get your arms around it. So let's take a look at in the recent past. We have our Knight of Cups in reverse, currently sitting in the Devil in reverse energy. And the next level of energy coming in is your Ace of Cups in reverse. All right, so in the recent past, we have this Knight of Cups in reverse energy. So it's kind of about this bad moods and disappointments. And because of that, it's pushing you into this Devil in reverse energy. And the Devil in reverse is about breaking free from anything that's keeping you from your path. And this is, you know, whatever is keeping you in these, I'll call it bad cycles, you know, where it's like this low vibe, negative type of energy. It's almost like you reach that point of saying, you know what, no, enough is enough. I don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm breaking free from that. The next level of energy coming in, though, with this Ace of Cups in reverse is it's a little bit of feeling like there's a loss. It also has to do with feeling unloved. So there is that sense of, as you stand up and make that shift, that you go through this feeling of, wait a second, I'm feeling like there's this distance there. So since we did have our 8 of Wands, 9 of Cups coming out as it relates to relationships as well, like I said, it's kind of almost that energy of trying to get your arms around what does this actually look like? So let's see, we'll pull a timing card. From a timing perspective, when does it look like you're kind of able, to get your arms around it? Before the next holiday is what popped up. So depending on what part of the country or the world you're in, that might be different. So it looks like even though there is a little bit of that disruption where you feel like there's that distance with your partner, it does look like it's going to resolve pretty soon. Let's pull some of these oracle cards. This is from that like hidden messages oracle. So I didn't pull them as it relates to jobs and careers, just because this likely is not as relevant to that. Okay. So a couple of those. I feel at home with you. I want more freedom. So that could be some of that disappointment. And we'll pull one more. I hope we can be together someday. So it's almost like there's this sense of, yes, things, you know, what your person wants to tell you is, yes, they do feel at home with you, but certain things are just making them feel like maybe it's a little bit too restrictive. And it could also be that they're scared, so they want more freedom. Like if things are moving too quickly towards a commitment, they may not be ready for that, and they do want that someday. Just, you know, they might want it to be a little bit slower if they're wanting more freedom, you know, being able to go hang out with their friends or travel, or, you know, and some of it really also depends on what it is that this discussion or issue is about. Like with this bad moods and disappointment, what is it that is about? If it's a discussion about having kids, maybe they want more freedom. They don't want kids yet. They want to be able to travel, like even the two of you together. So kind of take it as it resonates with you, but this is the message that's coming through from a love and relationship standpoint. So I hope that you found today's message to be helpful, but as I said, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.